Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In this week's episode, a long-awaited groundbreaking was held for a new bridge in New Smyrna. A ribbon cutting was held for a new employer who will create hundreds of new jobs, and dozens of mothers joined together to support breastfeeding. Later on in the program, Joanne Magley sits down with Mark Flowers with Volusia County's Division of Corrections. Those segments and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. County, city, and state officials joined the family of the late Mike Ader in breaking ground on the new Mike Ader Turnbull Bay Bridge in New Smyrna Beach on August 7th. The existing bridge, which was built in 1967, has deteriorated with age and has required frequent repairs. In 2011, after the state deemed one of the support beams at risk for imminent failure, the bridge was closed for 20 days while Volusia County, in collaboration with the city of New Smyrna Beach, made temporary repairs at a cost of $114,400. However, recognizing the fix was a temporary one, the county worked towards a plan to completely renovate the bridge, which is integral to daily life for many New Smyrna Beach residents.
We're smiling because we weren't smiling several years ago. Most of you were not smiling several years ago. But we're here to celebrate the groundbreaking on this bridge that's integral to our daily life for New Smyrna residents. Not just New Smyrna, but Port Orange and this whole connector corridor from Port Orange to New Smyrna in this whole area. This is a $7.9 million project, and it's 100% funded by the federal government.
The Volusia County Council voted to name the bridge after the late Mike Ader, a New Smyrna Beach resident who encouraged the county to keep the old bridge open during construction of the new bridge.
It's been a really long time coming, but I'll tell you, after looking at the plans for this bridge, I think it's going to be beautiful. I think we're going to end up with a really nice, beautiful bridge.
The $7.9 million project is being funded by the federal government, and construction is scheduled for completion in December of 2018. Volusia County students are returning to school this week, and the Volusia County Sheriff's Office urges drivers to take extra precautions in school zones. Did you know that the most dangerous time for the school zone and beyond is from 3 to 4 p.m.? That's when more school-age pedestrians are killed by motorists than any other time of day. Volusia County has more than 70 public schools. Be prepared to slow down at school zones and keep an eye out for unpredictable children. When children or crossing guards are in a crosswalk, drivers must stop at the marked stop line.
Hi, I'm Deputy Bustamante with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office, here to talk to you a little bit about some reminders now there's schools back in session. When school's in session, we need to look out for our children. Slow down. Speed limited school zones are reduced for a reason. Come to a complete stop and stop at all signs. Check for stop signs and check for children before proceeding. Eliminate distractions. Don't text or talk on the phone while driving in school zone. Watch for bicycles. Many children are inexperienced and unsteady on their bikes. Choose a different route. If you're not picking up and dropping off a child, avoid school zones if you can. If you follow all these tips, we'll have a safe and successful school year.
Learn how to share the road with school buses and pay attention to their warning lights. A yellow flashing light means the bus is preparing to stop to let kids on or off. A red light means kids are getting on or off the bus. It's illegal to pass a bus on an undivided roadway if the vehicle is stopped to load or unload children. If the highway is divided by a raised barrier or an unpaved median at least 5 feet wide, you do not have to stop if you're moving in the opposite direction of the bus. Do you have any teen drivers in your home? The Volusia County Sheriff's Office offers a teen driving challenge that trains teenage drivers to avoid deadly traffic crashes. For more information about this 8-hour course, you can visit volusiasheriff.org. Dozens of mothers and mothers-to-be gathered recently at the Florida Department of Health in Daytona Beach to support breastfeeding. Called the Big Latch On, this is an annual event that is held in conjunction with similar events across the globe that support and encourage breastfeeding. During the event, 17,790 children were breastfed during the 1-minute count, and more than 18,000 breastfeeding women attended.
We all know that breastfeeding is very important for both mom and baby, and we're very aware of the benefits of breastfeeding. But from a public health standpoint, breast milk is so fantastic for babies because it helps to build their immune systems. Breastfed babies are much less likely to get sick, they're protected against diseases and illnesses, so they're getting a defense mechanism from antibodies in breast milk. And what a lot of people don't realize is that those antibodies stay in a child's body their entire lifetime and through adulthood. So those protections help last and sustain to give them that immunity support their entire lives. So that's why it does help improve health outcomes and really gives them a great start in life that only a mom can give to their baby.
In 2015, more than 75% of Volusia County mothers breastfed their babies after delivery. That's a 25% increase over the number of mothers who ever breastfed their babies a decade ago. That's a step in the right direction for healthy babies. The Big Latch On is hosted by Volusia Flagler Breastfeeding Coalition. Members of the Volusia County Council, along with other dignitaries and business leaders, celebrated the grand opening of Teletech recently at the company's new facility in Daytona Beach. Teletech is a customer experience provider headquartered in Colorado with more than 48,000 employees worldwide. The company was recruited to the area by Team Volusia Economic Development Corporation over competitive locations in Mobile, Alabama, and 3 cities in Texas.
Teletech is a large corporation with 48,000 employees all over the world. It's global. They looked for space for a large contact center. They're working with insurance companies and insurance registrations. So they looked at 2 other states plus Florida. We were charged with filling the space vacated by Top Build when they built their corporate headquarters on Williamson Boulevard. The space actually many years ago was the service merchandise space here. So we knew that we didn't want to have it sit empty, 60,000 square feet. So we marketed the building nationally, did various missions to consulting firms. The building became of great interest across the nation.
Teletech has entered a long-term lease for 43,000 square feet of space with an additional 20,000 square feet of space for future expansion in the building formerly occupied by Top Build. Since at least 60 employees will earn over $41,288 or 115% of the average wage in 2017, the company is eligible to receive a qualified target industry tax refund of up to $180,000. The state would pay 80% and the county would pay 20%, equal to $600 per job up to $36,000. Teletech plans to create 900 jobs over the next 3 years with an annual payroll of more than $20 million. The company has invested nearly $5 million in renovations and improvements. Teletech's chief people officer says the employees are what make the company succeed.
But one thing, you talk about human, you talk about our biggest, I call resource or asset, is our people. It's the 48,000 employees strong.
Teletech is actively hiring licensed health and life insurance agents and customer experience representatives interested in obtaining their insurance license and other administrative and management positions. For employment information, you can visit teletech.com. So far this summer, we continue to see hot days with almost daily afternoon thunderstorms. This week on Volusia Here and Now, we'll join Shelley Safranek as she visits one of the best places to escape the heat and the rain, the Daytona International Skateway, the area's only ice skating rink.
Where's the coolest place to hang out this summer? How about the ice skating rink here in South Daytona? Whether you have the next Michelle Kwan or Wayne Gretzky, or you simply want to enjoy a sport most think can only be found up north, the Daytona International Skateway can meet all of your needs and more as the area's only ice skating rink. Kept cool by state-of-the-art technology, the 35,000 square foot South Daytona complex offers visitors a chance to get laced up for recreational ice skating or to pursue their Olympic dreams.
We've got everything from beginner, intermediate to advanced. Our beginner skating classes are called Learn to Skate, and they're sponsored by the U.S. Figure Skating national governing body for figure skating. All of our coaches here are certified figure skating coaches. And then on the hockey side of things, we have what's called Mini Bolts. Mini Bolts 1 and Mini Bolts 2. Our Mini Bolts 1 class is just teaching them how to skate. Nothing hockey related yet, just how to properly get up when you fall, how to skate forward, how to skate backwards, just those basics. And then after they pass that Mini Bolts 1 class, sometimes they take it 2 or 3 times, then they advance to our Mini Bolts 2. Our Mini Bolts 2 class is full gear, so now they get a chance to touch the puck and shoot and hold a stick and get ready to actually get to the point where they're confident enough, skill is high enough that they can actually play in our leagues. And we have leagues that run from 5 years old all the way up to adults who've been playing here for 20 years.
And if moving the puck is what your youngster is after, opportunities abound with house leagues, competitive travel teams, and a Volusia high school team. The rink is also home to the Embry-Riddle Eagles.
Our Volusia Youth Hockey Association has been intact since 2005, 2006. It's a nonprofit organization. We have kids from the ages of 4 up to 16. As an organization, we do offer equipment to these kids, boys and girls, for a certain amount, and then it's like a deposit, and when they return the equipment, they get their money back. It's a great way to get these kids on the ice equipment-wise, so they're not afraid to go out there and try different things. So they get better and comfortable and confident, build their confidence on the skates. So that is our Volusia Youth Hockey Association. It's a rec, it's all in-house. And we also do have our travel program, which is our racers program. And we start off at mites, which is 8 and younger, and we go up to the junior level, which is 18, 19, 20-year-olds. And those are all travel. They traveled around the state of Florida, outside of Florida, tournaments. It's really competitive hockey.
Now, if you're like most people, surprised that there is an ice skating rink in Volusia County, you may also be surprised to learn that it's open to the public 7 days a week.
Every day of the week, we have skating times. And our public skating is nice because it just gives the public a chance to maybe get out of the Florida heat and come out and skate.
Grabbing the attention of more area youth and exposing them to this not-so-typical Florida sport, the rink offers many different programs and activities in addition to the figure skating and hockey. They have theme nights for the public skate sessions and an ice fit program. Did you know 11 laps around the rink equals 1 mile, and the average calories burned per hour for a recreational skater is 300? At the rink, you'll also find a snack bar and rooms for birthday or company parties. For public sessions, the cost to skate is $7.50, and skate rentals are $3. For those with a military or college ID, admission is $5. Children ages 4 or 5 enjoy a $5 admission, and children under 3 are free. These details and more can be found at DaytonaIceArena.com or by calling 386-256-3963. You also can follow the Daytona International Skateway on Facebook and Twitter at Daytona Ice Arena. So if you've always aspired to do sports on the ice or simply want to get some exercise out of the heat, check out all the Daytona International Skateway has to offer. While it's great to live in Florida and enjoy the sunshine, Mother Nature won't affect your time at the rink as the ice is ready all the time. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Shelly Safranek.
Every kid loves animals, and raising rabbits is a fun way to get kids involved in farming. In this week's Solutions for Your Life, Volusia County Extension's Lisa Hamilton has details on the Regal Rabbits workshops held at Volusia County's Agricultural Center.
Hi, I'm Sharon Gamble, the Volusia County Livestock Agent with the University of Florida in the Volusia County Agricultural Center. And today we are hosting our Regal Rabbits Workshop. And this is where our 4-H kids and independent kids and FFA kids can come and learn how to show and prepare their rabbits. And they're going to exhibit their rabbits in the November Fair this year. So we hold this workshop so that they can learn to properly prepare their rabbit, care for their rabbit, and learn some general leadership and good life skills from this project.
His name is Blue Jay. He is a gray Rex. He is 6 years old.
Now I'd like to turn it over to Sharon Katoon. She is the superintendent of the Rabbit and Cavy exhibit at the fair, and she's worked with these kids before, and she's going to help this new batch of kids learn to do what they need to do better to prepare the rabbits for show.
Thanks, Sharon, for giving us the opportunity to have this program. Today's class is to help the kids gain knowledge about their rabbits and their guinea pigs. We are going to explain to them about purchasing a rabbit, that there are rabbit breeders out there to where they can go buy them, to provide them with information about the proper feed. Guinea pigs need vitamin C in their diet, to teach them about keeping their nails trimmed so that they don't pull the nails out if they're outside in a wire cage. It's going to have the same fur quality as ginger, but it's going to be a little bit bigger. My goal is to help them to understand about buying a rabbit that is a breed. There is no difference in care between a pet rabbit and a breed. If they get a breed, then they're learning what is unique to that breed. We're trying to help them to become knowledgeable about diseases that the rabbits could get if they're not properly cared for. This is the first time that we have done this class. It's something I've had in the back of my head for the last couple of years, and so we're getting it off the ground this year, to knowing that we always have new kids who are coming into the program, to educate them, to let them know what's going on, because so many times they get to the fair and we're having to do an education there, where if they had some of this information ahead of time, then they could have been a little bit better prepared.
4-H is a great program because they can teach kids about farming, because some of the kids, they don't understand anything. One time a kid there thought that carrots came from Publix.
On average, we normally have about 70 kids that will enter rabbits, and we usually end up with about 120 rabbits at the fair. The dates this year for the fair are November the 2nd through November the 12th. The kids will bring their rabbits over to the fairgrounds on November the 1st to check them in.
Usually I practice closer to fair time. I didn't expect it, so she taught me a few more things.
So that when the fair opens, they're here. The morning of November 2nd, while the kids are still in school, the rabbits will be judged, so that when the kids come in the afternoon, November 2nd, they will find out that whether or not the rabbits have received a blue, red, or a white ribbon, and which rabbits have been honored with Best in Show or Reserve in Show for purebred or for pet.
We hope you enjoyed our show today, and as always, if you have any questions, please get in touch with us at the Agricultural Center here in Volusia County, and we'd be happy to answer your questions and provide information to you. As always, Sharon Gamble with Solutions for Your Life.
It's time to join the Director of Community Information, Joanne Magley, and her guest, Mark Flowers, Corrections Director of Volusia County's Division of Corrections.
Thanks, Amber. Well, the county's corrections operation is among the more complex services the county government provides. So with us today to talk about some insight into the division is Mark Flowers, Director of the county's Correction Division. Hi, Mark.
Good morning, Joanne. How are you?
Good. Thanks for being here today. So for people who are not familiar with the Corrections Division, and I imagine a lot of people probably aren't, give us a little bit of insight into the operation that you oversee.
Yes, the Volusia County Division of Corrections is really comprised of two jails. We have the branch jail, which on average processes more than 25,000 individuals through each year, and it's also known where the first appearance takes place. Our branch jail houses, the majority of our folks in the branch jail are non-sentenced individuals who have not yet gone to court and been sentenced. We also have a medical clinic in our branch jail, and we house our juvenile facility there. Our correctional facility is the second building that we have that houses our inmates, And we house all county males that have been sentenced and all of our female inmates. Total is a little over, right at 1,500 beds, both buildings.
Like other divisions in county government, you have a budget that you have to operate under. Give us an idea of what it takes to run the operations of corrections.
Yes, ma'am. Running corrections is a very expensive proposal anyway. Our county budget is right at $45 million, and that covers everything from food, medical care, all of the utilities, and the full operating expenses to include staff in our budget.
So medical care, you said, is one of those larger expenses, but I know earlier this year you gave an update to the County Council on some changes that will be happening as it affects medical care in the facility.
Yes, ma'am. Medical is my largest expenditure in our budget, and it accounts for about $9 million each year of that $45 million. We're never going to be happy with status quo, so we're always looking for ways to be more efficient. This particular year, we've done an amendment with our healthcare provider, Armor Correctional Healthcare, and what we did is we conducted a study to find out when our ambulance runs were taking place, and we found that approximately 45%, 47% of our ambulance runs were taking place after our medical doctor left for the evening. So what we have asked our provider to do is provide an additional 20 hours of mid-level medical coverage, and this individual will be starting very soon and will give us 20 additional hours. Another area that we talked about doing was bringing in additional outsourcing or our specialty clinics and bringing more of those into our institutions and actually treating our inmates on site. One of the ways that we're going to try and do that is through telemedicine. And telemedicine, for those that don't know what that is basically a webcam type setup. So instead of transporting an inmate to a different off-site office, we are hoping that we are able to reduce costs by connecting the doctor in their office with the inmate in our clinic as a way to provide some cost savings.
Because the people that are coming into the facility, the inmates, you have no idea what type of medical conditions that they have. So they might be presenting any kind of symptoms, and that's why you have all this medical care, because you have so many complex issues with these individuals.
Yes, ma'am. Out of all of the line items I have in my budget, healthcare is the one I have zero control of. I cannot control, unfortunately, sometimes who comes in our back door and who gets arrested and processed into jail. And it is not an uncommon event for me to have over 100 individuals that are on detox medications due to substance abuse. I've got an extremely high, what I consider extremely high mental health situation. So I've got on average 100 to 150 inmates a day that are on some sort of mental health care. And that's not to take into considerations the ones that are already stabilized, but continuing the psychotropic medications, which are very expensive.
So how many officers does it take for you to adequately run the jails?
We have 289 sworn positions on our books, and counting our contractors, just a little over 140 civilian folks. Currently, I'm sitting at 22 vacancies on the security side, and I'm going to get a little plug in here. I've got a job fair.
Right.
It's an open house on August the 19th at the branch jail. It's going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning. Anyone interested is welcome to attend. We're going to start it with a briefing. Then we're going to give a tour of the jail, and anyone that would be interested in joining our team will have that capability right there. Our human resources folks are going to be at that job fair as well with us. So we invite anybody interested and needing a job to come and try us out.
And different opportunities within the division. The correction officers is I'm sure probably your most critical, but then you also have some other administrative positions as well.
Yes, ma'am. We have several positions, both civilian and sworn officers. And one thing about Volusia County that some counties don't offer is if we hire you and bring you on our team, we will pay for your academy and pay you while you're in attendance. So it's a great program, great opportunity.
So you're also doing some innovative things with your inmates at the corrections facility, and this is really to help them when they eventually do get out of jail, to help them turn their lives around for the better. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing there.
Yes, ma'am. I want to start by talking about inmate labor and inmate employment, because 70% of the country says that they won't hire an ex-offender when they get out of prison. Right. And if people aren't hiring them to give them jobs, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to end up committing new crimes and going back to prisons and jails. So that's one of my target areas, is I want to try and give these inmates an opportunity to show that they've made a mistake, they've paid their time, and now they're ready to go back out and be productive citizens in our community. On a budget with $45 million a year, we can't continue to keep doing what we're doing. Mm-hmm. It isn't working. So I'd like to start and just tell you a little bit about what we did before Hurricane Matthew hit our shores. Our inmate population jumped into action, and we provided over 13,000 sandbags to the residents of Volusia County. Mm-hmm. And that's a milestone for us, because one, our residents didn't have to lift a finger to get those sandbags. Right. They pulled up to our correctional facility. Both our male and our female inmates were out there filling sandbags, and the individuals could pull up and we would load the sandbags up. That was before this storm. After this storm hit, you could find us in all of the county libraries. We were cleaning up the parking lots. We were removing trees and limbs and debris. We hit the county parks that had been devastated. The bike trail down in New Smyrna had trees laying over the trail. Nobody could use the trail. Our inmates went into action. We had about 6 different crews out, and all in all said, they spent over 10,000 hours contributing back to our community. And when Biketoberfest was just a few days after the hurricane, we put inmates on the beach at Ormond Beach, on Granada Boulevard. Mm-hmm. They walked south. We put inmates down on 27th Avenue and New Smyrna. They walked north. We met in the middle and moved over 60 tons of debris from the beaches. Wow. The beaches were opened back up at Biketoberfest, which was a phenomenal feat in and of itself.
Well, those sound like great programs, and you have your hands full, but good luck on the recruitment effort, and we will do our best to help spread that recruitment message as well. So Mark Flowers, Director of the County's Correction Division, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Amber, back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you too for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osmond, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.